Hey, what's up next? Board chair report. Not that I'm old or anything, but driving up this morning, and it's always fun. I love, I like to sleep in my own bed, but it's very relaxing. It's a couple hour drive, and you get to see the sun come up a little bit. But I've had this song in my head, and I'm sure I'm probably the only one that will confess that I'm a fan of the song in here, but it's a song that came out in 1972, actually April. April. So it's, April, May, June, school gets out, and it's Alice Cooper's School's Out for Summer. And it just in my head, and it dates me a little bit. I'm not a 90s person. Like, remember Norton was talking about living in the 90s. I did live through the 90s, but when I was young in high school, and in 72, I was a freshman in a school that we had two high schools sharing the same building, same football field, same track, same baseball. And it was very interesting. That same year, where I grew up, you could, when you were 14, 15, right in there, you get your driver's license when you're 16, but you could ride a motorcycle and have a motorcycle's license. It's also a year that my motorcycle was stolen at this high school that we're sharing with. Very difficult. It was a freshman year, but I enjoyed it. But I was so glad that year ended, and that Alice Cooper song just burned in my brain. I could never get it out. So I thought, well, maybe I play it, but it wouldn't be appropriate. But I think you guys know exactly what it's all about. And it seems like every year come fall, it pops back in my brain, and it stays until school starts. And it's amazing, though, if you track the song, there's been redone quite a few times, and it's still relevant to kids every year, especially seniors. That song still creeps up. But is school really out for summer? Is it really a summer break? And we're in a different space. We're not in school, but we have kids and grandkids and that, but we're in the education business. Our education community, I want to speak to a little bit about the summer break, but before we get into the slides, is in my family, I've got 3 girls that are educators. I've got a sister-in-law that's a principal, and if I just go to cousins and their relatives, there are a lot of educators. And they take a lot of offense when people or somebody says, "Oh, what are you doing this summer? You got the summer off." It's not off for our education community. I listen to these great principals and stuff, and they're ambassadors, and they represent all this wonderful stuff that happens with principals and assistant principals, and they're not off. Even when they're on vacation, they're not off. Even in their little break out of contract, they're not off. They're consumed with hiring and all the challenges of getting ready for school. It doesn't. I mean, they start that before school even ends. They have some pause moments that they get to spend with their families here and there, but still, I have meetings here with USBE staff. They join the meeting and they're on vacation. That there's just this huge commitment from public education. I want to recognize it today a little bit through this summer break. There was a little bit of a break and maybe away from some students, but it's not really a break from classrooms. You look at schools and you still have teachers every month. I spend more time around rural schools, and there's still teachers in there working in their class, getting ready for the next year. Especially the month of August and the last half of July, because they're in this ready, set, go mode. So that's what I want to talk a little bit. Not only what you're seeing in schools, but this office. A lot of people, we try not to have a board meeting in the month of July. We try, because we do that to have a little bit of a pause so staff can have some time with family or try to squeeze a vacation. And they're in the ready, set, go mode too of supporting schools. in everything that's going on. And I hear from our education community, even my family members, that they're engaged with USBE staff all through the summer months, including while they're on vacation or they're taking their time off doing a home improvement project or something, working with their family. And so I want to recognize the efforts that have happened this summer, and I don't want to leave anyone excluded. A lot of the board members that are engaged in the education community also. So I've had some slides made, and Kelsey did a good job to put just a couple together. Utah Fuel CS, for an example. This is USB staff that are putting this on. Hey, new acronym. You heard about these new acronyms? Fuel, computer science, are we fueling? Well, that's an acronym. It's for Fostering Utah Education Learning. When are we going to stop coming up with acronyms? I have no idea, but that's what the fuel is. And here you can see right here where USB staff is working a week. And these are, if I remember right, these are rural schools they are rural educators, 12 of them that come in and dedicate a week of their life in trying to bring betterments forward. Next slide, please. I'm not going to be able to get everything that happened in the summer, but here's our Utah Systems Conference, where it's over 500 educators, a hybrid conference in this space of acronyms, CSI, which sounds really cool if you're with your DVR. And on TV, and personalized competency-based learning and family engagement. All through the summer, a lot of USBE support, but then a lot of participation also. Next slide, please. Utah Institute for Special Education Law. We hear a lot about special ed and everything that's attached to it. It doesn't turn off. The continuous improvement, learning more, getting it right. I want to do it right. Here there were over 1,400 educators and parents engaged in, I believe this was another hybrid, wasn't it? The conference that happened here that had the right topics and everything. This happened through the summer. Next slide, please. And this is a unique one. You've heard about it, and then a lot of you participated in it, is Show Up for Teachers. It's actually hosted by Utah's First Lady, Abby Cox. I could not make it. I can't remember what I had. It had to be a big emergency. But I knew that a lot of people were engaged in this. Over 1,600 educator advocates participated in this. Now, there's many other things that, I think that was my last slide, wasn't it? I think there was many others other programs with rural schools and engagement, but I don't know how to give a shout out. I don't know how to do it, but I feel it's my responsibility to recognize the summer break achievements and commitment that a lot of people out there, and these people are excited about education amongst all the other challenges that are happening there. And it seems like we get kind of mired down with legislation, and there's a lot of alligators, I call them, out there. I used to say rhubarb, but a lot of people don't know what a rhubarb plant is. It's a rural thing, but it's really, really good to eat. But amongst all of that, there's this passion. And I have not ran into an educator at all, not one, that is dreading this school year. Maybe I'm not in the right circles of people, but they're ready, and they're getting set. And just in a matter of a couple weeks or sooner, it's going to be go time for all of this. So I just want to thank all of them, USBE, you as board members that are engaged in the education community, all of you. We're all engaged in the things that we do in setting policy. That this is going to be a fantastic school year. We've got challenges and staff challenges and everything else, but I'm happy to say that school has not been out for summer. And there's a lot of kids ready for that little pause break to get back in, and maybe somebody will come up with another great, cool song that will burn into my brain besides Alice Cooper's 1972 School's Out. But I just want to give a shout out. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. And I keep saying this often as a board member, and I'll be finishing this year out. What more can we do in bringing betterments? What more can we do to bring a supportive attitude to our awesome educators that are out there that are committed? They have a lot of opportunities to do something different, but they love the kids and kiddos. They like the supervision that they get, the people that they work with, and there's gratification that comes from helping these kids. And so, thank you. That concludes my chair's report. Unfortunately, our lunch is not here yet. It's on its way.